Scene opens with explosive graphics. A split screen shows Sophie Cunningham draining three-pointer after three-pointer, Caitlin Clark directing the offense, and the Fever bench erupting. Text flashes, 20 points. 6 threes. History. The Fever are on fire. The Indiana Fever just sent a message to the entire WNBA. And two players were at the center of the explosion. Sophie Cunningham caught absolute fire, matching her career high with 6 three-pointers and pouring in 20 points off the bench. Caitlin Clark made history, not with a 30-point barrage, but with a quiet masterpiece that reminded everyone why she's the most dangerous playmaker in the league. Together, they led the Fever to a 109-75 demolition of the Las Vegas Aces on Sunday night. The Aces had just set a franchise record with a 48-point win the night before. They were riding high. They were at home. They were supposed to be unstoppable. And the Fever crushed them. But here's the real story, Yanni. The Fever are 3-1 on this road trip. They've beaten the Aces twice in 8 days. They're 14-9. And they're doing it with role players stepping up, stars sharing the load, and a chemistry that's becoming undeniable. What did Cunningham do to catch fire? How did Clark make history without scoring 30? And what does this mean for the Fever's championship aspirations? Buckle up, because Indiana just announced they're for real. Scene opens with Cunningham launching threes. The ball splashes through the net. She hits another. The Fever bench explodes. The Aces call timeout, stunned. Sophie Cunningham was supposed to have a quiet night. Coming into Sunday's game, the betting line had her under 8.5 points, because with Caitlin Clark back in the lineup, Cunningham's usage dips, and her scoring tends to drop. And Cunningham doesn't typically catch fire. She's a role player. A veteran. A defensive specialist who happens to shoot 43.2% from three, a career-high mark she set in 2025. She scored 19 points exactly once in her career, way back in 2019 against the Fever, ironically. Well, she just tied that career high. 20 points. 6 three-pointers. Tying her career high for made threes in a single game. And she did it in just 22 minutes off the bench. The second half was pure Cunningham. She hit 5 threes in the third and fourth quarters as Indiana outscored the Aces 50-27. But it wasn't just the scoring. It was the timing. Las Vegas had just cut the Fever's lead to 59-55 early in the third. The Aces were surging. The home crowd was roaring. And Cunningham answered. She hit a three. Then another 34 seconds later. The lead was 13. The Aces never recovered. By the time she hit her sixth three with 2:18 remaining, the lead was 102-73. The game was over. Cunningham's performance was the X factor that turned a competitive game into a blowout. Caitlin Clark makes history, the quiet masterpiece. Scene opens with Clark running the offense, threading passes through traffic, and directing her team. She's not scoring 30, but she's controlling everything. Caitlin Clark didn't put up 32 points this time. She didn't break the single-game assist record. She didn't dominate the stat sheet the way she sometimes does. But she made history anyway. Against the Aces, Clark finished with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Those numbers won't make headlines. But they tell a story of a player who is learning to let her teammates shine. Because when Clark shares the ball, the Fever are unstoppable. Kelsey Mitchell has scored 26 or more in 6 straight games. Aaliyah Boston had 19 points and 11 rebounds. Cunningham had her career night. And Clark was the engine behind it all. But the history came earlier in the season. Just a few weeks ago, Clark reached 100 assists in just 12 games, making her the fastest guard in WNBA history to hit that milestone. She also became the first player in WNBA history to lead the league in assists and three-pointers made in the same season, and that was just her rookie year. Clark has the most games with 25-plus points and 10-plus assists, 5. She's the fastest to reach 100 points and 50 assists, 8 games, and 150 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists, 10 games. And she's doing it all while playing on a minutes restriction. The Fever are protecting their superstar. And it's paying off. Scene opens with the Fever offense flowing. Mitchell scoring. Cunningham shooting. Clark distributing. The chemistry is undeniable. Here's what makes the Fever dangerous. They don't need Clark to score 30 every night. Kelsey Mitchell has become a scoring machine. She dropped 27 points against the Aces, her 6th straight game with 26 or more. She's the hottest scorer in the league right now. Aaliyah Boston is a double-double machine. 19 points, 11 rebounds against the Aces, another dominant performance. And Sophie Cunningham is the spark off the bench. She scored 20 points on a night when the betting line had her under 8.5. Clark is the conductor. The quarterback. The player who makes everyone better. When she's on the court, the Fever's offense flows through her. She finds Mitchell for open shots. She feeds Boston in the post. She kicks out to Cunningham for threes. And when Cunningham is hitting, the Fever become nearly impossible to guard. The three of them, Clark, Mitchell, and Cunningham, combined for 59 points against the Aces. And they did it with efficiency, unselfishness, and a chemistry that's only getting stronger. Scene opens with the Fever celebrating on the court in Las Vegas. The Aces walk off dejected. The scoreboard reads, 109-75. The Fever just made a statement. They're 3-1 on this 4-game road trip, including 2 wins over the Las Vegas Aces. They beat the Aces 84-68 on July 5th. Then they demolished them 109-75 on July 12th. That's not luck. That's dominance. The Aces are 17-7, one of the best teams in the league. They have Aya Wilson, the 4-time MVP, who still scored 20 points and grabbed 12 rebounds. They have Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and a loaded roster. And the Fever beat them. Twice. In 8 days. On the road. Here's the stat line from the Fever's 109-point explosion. Field goal percentage, 55.9%. Three-pointers, 15 of 31, 48.4%. Bench scoring, led by Cunningham's 20 points. Assists, Clark and Mitchell sharing the playmaking. Las Vegas shot just 39.1. It wasn't just a win. It was a masterclass. What this means for the playoff push. Scene opens with a preview of the Fever's upcoming schedule. The road trip is almost over. The playoffs are within reach. The Fever are now 14-9. They're in playoff position. They're playing their best basketball of the season. And they're doing it with a team that's deeper than anyone expected. Kelsey Mitchell is playing at an all-star level. She's carrying the scoring load, and she's doing it consistently. Aaliyah Boston is a force inside. She's getting double-doubles. She's controlling the paint. Sophie Cunningham is the X factor. When she catches fire, the Fever are unbeatable. And Caitlin Clark is the conductor, making history, breaking records, and elevating everyone around her. The Fever have a brutal stretch ahead. But they've proven they can compete with anyone. They beat the Aces twice. They've won on the road. They've won without Clark. They've won with Clark on a minutes restriction. This isn't a one-player show anymore. This is a team. And when a team has chemistry, depth, and a superstar who makes everyone better, they can beat anyone. Yanni, the Fever are for real. And Sophie Cunningham just made sure everyone knows it.